Hello, hello, it's Simone. Today I'm bringing you a new YouTube series called Scale It Down, and I'm doing a collaboration with my friend Suzanna Lee. So, we are going to scale it down and scrapbook in a traveler's notebook. We want you to join us as we focus on different topics each month. Today is just an introductory video. It is my very first scrapbooking process in a traveler's notebook, and I decided to limit my products that I can use to my scrap bin of patterned papers, and I found this sticker book from Shimelle's, well, I think 2 or 3 collections ago, and yeah, it is fall colors and talks about traveling and worked really well with this hiking layout. I had printed those photos 1.5 years ago maybe and wanted to scrapbook in this traveler's notebook. However, I stopped for no reason other than that the middle pages came undone, and that bugged me to no end, and so I just didn't continue. I wasn't feeling it anymore somehow. And now I was really scared to get back because I have been journaling in a traveler's notebook, which I think is different. I think scrapbooking is more about the page layout. I focus more. What I regard as scrapbooking is you focus on the canvas, regard this notebook as a complete background. It's almost a square. It might actually be a square, similar to a 12 by 12 layout, and you treat it like a canvas that you could actually hang on a wall, which is different to the way I journal in a traveler's notebook. Maybe journaling for me is more like a magazine style where you could have different articles that are made up in a different way, maybe a commercial on the sidebar, much more interactive and different. It's just different. So I haven't done this in more than a year. I think I stopped doing this in the late spring of 2016. And again, as I said, I don't really know why I stopped. I think when I opened this up again, and I will have a little flip through at the end of this video so that you can see what I had been doing before. When I flipped through this, because I decided I'm not going to start a new one, I'm just going to finish this. That was probably the reason why, because the pages came undone. But I am more experienced now and know how to sew my binding, and so I just took the staples out and sewed the binding, and now I can work in this again. As you can see, I am doing a grid. That is something that, again, when you see me flip through this, I seem to be very consistent with doing grids in a traveler's notebook, which I do not find a bad thing, because if that's something I'm comfortable with right now doing, I'm considering myself a beginner again, I'm trying to get my feet wet again in this, then why shouldn't I do the things that I'm most comfortable with until I feel more confident and less intimidated by the little format, and then I can branch out to do something else, which we will see down the road where this leads me. And as you can see here, you do not need a lot of supplies for this. That is a sticker book. I used 3 stickers, 4 stickers maybe. Well, if you count the washi tape, then maybe 6 stickers. I used really a minimal amount of scrapbooking papers, and those are all. They are from 12 by 12 pages. You could definitely use 6 by 6, which we will probably focus on in a later video as well. And yeah, that's like minimal dosages. So things that you would normally throw away, you can still use in a traveler's notebook. I started with this very rigorous grid. It is not very open. And then I decided to break it up by using the adventure banner. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it, but then I thought, you need something. Simone, you need something to break this very rigid grid up. And I really like that it then ties in the whole canvas, so to speak. Since the banner reaches out all the way to the left edge, I felt that I needed something at the bottom, right there where we have the camera. And so I did not want to repeat any of the patterns. Since I didn't use a lot of pattern papers, I can definitely just bring in another one. And so I decided to bring in another green pattern, the back side of the map pattern from the top right, and repeat the size as well. That is something that I learned probably in an university when I was studying to become an architect. Even though you might not really notice this, it is something that your eye will appreciate, that those sizes of those photo squares are repeated at the bottom. And yeah, so I stuck it there. It works perfectly. It's a little bit off from the edge. And then I am going to journal all the way to the photo, because I thought, since the black is such a heavy color, I don't think it would have worked if I had just journaled on the white part. And then I have this strange gap here underneath the banner, and I then decide that I will use this arrow, which I have struggled with before. And then I have this little open space that I'm not too happy about, but I decide, no, just call it done. It's okay. It's your very first traveler's notebook spread after a long time, and just be happy with the way it looks, and then call it done and move on. So here's the spread. The journaling just talks about us being not used to Californian summers and going hiking in the middle of the day with the burning sun. And yeah, so I'm going to walk you through this notebook. It is the second one that I actually started. I started it in the beginning of 2016, or April, I think. This is a single side layout that I did for the beginning, and then I just tried my hand at all the different things. I tried watercoloring. There is some kind of, this is more of what I would call journaling spread. There's more, this is a single-sided layouts, which I didn't like at all, so I decided not to use this ever again. I only used scraps from my scrap bin and leftover embellishments from kits, and just tried all the things. And here I wanted to add all of my fortunes from Panda Express. I need to collect them and add them in here. This is where I stitched the binding now. And then we're at the layout that I just showed you in this video, which means I still have a lot of pages to fill in this journal. Susanna and I are starting this series as a bi-weekly series. We will be back on February 17th with a guest designer. And we would like to have a guest designer join us every month. So if you are interested in collaborating with us, please leave a comment. Also, if you think that you have a great topic that we should cover in one of our future episodes, please leave a comment below. We would love to make this a fun experience for us all, and yeah, cater to your Traveler's Notebooks needs. Susanna's video is on screen right now. Hop on over to her. See you next time. Bye.